Joining us today is a remarkable young talent whose creativity is capturing hearts and sparking conversations across Nigeria, hailing from Taraba region. Segun Owolabi recently emerged as the overall winner of the 2025 Life in My City Art Festival in Enugu, a celebration of artistic brilliance and social consciousness. His award-winning piece, inspired by this year's theme, Can We Breathe, powerfully reflects the struggles and hope of our times. Today we get to meet the mind and passion behind the masterpiece. Segun Owolabi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Queen.
Thanks for having me. Well, thanks for gracing my invite. All right, first of all, congratulations on that incredible, massive win. How did that make you feel?
Well, uh, like I said earlier, I said it's a lot of feelings, but it all boils down to one thing, and that is gratitude. Uh, a lot happened earlier this year. There were lots of things I remembered, but then I felt there's no need to even talk about it again because everything has led to that moment. And at the end of everything, what I felt was gratitude.
Interesting. So what does this milestone mean to you personally? Because I mean, from the residency program to, because I literally saw sold out of all your art. You know, your art are very incredible, right? So from the residency program to emerging as the winner of the Life in My City themed Can We Breathe? What does this milestone mean to you personally?
Well, this is not my first time participating in Limcaf.
Okay.
The first time was 2021, and the announcement that year was almost as dramatic as this one. If you remember, the overall winner was called before me, and I was the last person on stage. And at that point, I was thinking I would be the overall winner, but then later found out there was a little mix-up, so they had to take it back. I took the best installation prize, and then the person took the overall winning prize. But then I told myself, I was close to being the overall winner this year. That was 2021.
Okay.
So that means my next attempts, I'm actually going to be the overall winner.
Okay.
And to my surprise, the winner of that year actually chatted me up and was like, you said this thing would happen. Yeah. I said, I knew it would happen one day. And this was my turn since that day. That day was a signal. It was not a mistake. It was a signal that I'm the next.
Yeah. Impressive. So, you know, Limcaf is known for its strong social and environmental themes. How did this year's theme, Can You Breathe, resonate with you as an artist?
Okay. First of all, from the title I chose for the artwork, I titled it Entanglement.
Okay.
Sad generation with happy faces. And it was actually a personal reflection. And if you notice, I was a bit emotional on stage that day.
Very, very.
And in fact, it was even funny because days before that day, I actually told somebody I have not seen something that can actually make me cry, because I see people that cry as dramatic people.
Are you serious?
The person said it's because what will make you cry has not happened yet.
Oh my goodness.
So it was the time I was producing that work was a very low point in my own life.
Okay.
And I wrote it in the entry also, because it was being a young graduate who has finished school, trying to struggle and survive on my own, and trying to also make something out of the art career. The week I remember, I just flashed back and remember the week I was doing that work. Most of the days were on empty stomach. So when I was reflecting, when I go out, I try as much as possible to cover up what is really happening. I look good, everybody think everything is fine, but when I go back inside, I know what I'm going through. So I feel that's exactly the same thing that is going on with everybody out there, that we smile a lot outside, but inside, we have our pains that we go through. We are a generation of sad people that are carrying happy faces around. So that work, every pull of thread I did was a prayer. Was every string of thread carries hope that, okay, I'm doing this even though it's where I am right now, but I believe things will get better. And it's a message of hope to everybody that was going through the same situation. And at the end, I think we can finally breathe.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Now, I mean, you've said all that. I would like you to follow up on that particular statement. Your piece stood out among so many talented entries, which you clearly saw, right? And what do you think made it connect so powerfully with the judges and the audience? You're already telling me about one of the contestants that did mixed artwork
Mixed
and
media.
yes, mixed media art and all that. So what do you think must have made the judges say, oh, there's something so special about this particular art?
Well, I can't really say this is what the judges were thinking because we were not even allowed to interact or even know who the judges were until the judging process was done. But then there were criteria to judging. But I cannot tell this is what the judges saw because it's not a one-man jury.
Mhm.
But then I think with the story behind the work and then the newness in the idea of the work, if you look at that place that day, there are works you see that then you look around and see another work that looks like it, not exactly like it, but done in the same technique. But in that whole all that day, I don't think you can't even find any other work that looks like that one. So I felt that was what made the work stand out. But aside that, every artist there were spectacular. There are people that I respect so much and I'll call cut cap. Like we were rooting for each other. So they root for me, I root for them. So
Yeah. All right. So many young artists, yeah, their artwork speaks for society, activism, and all that. So what role do you believe art should play in shaping conversations about justice, identity, or environment today?
okay. I believe art. Okay, my art now, I'm trying to use it to do two things at this stage. Number one, I'm trying to use it to as a tool for therapy. If you remember in our last interview, I mentioned that it was my own personal therapy.
Okay.
It was what helped me come out of my shades into the light. It was what gave me relevance. When I didn't have a voice, it was what gave me voice. So my art on its own is a means to present a different way to look at life to people in such a way that they will also be able to find an alignment, even in their entanglement, to find order in their chaos. That's what it is for me. But then how I think art generally can serve everybody. Art is not just beauty as we think it used to be before. But now I believe art is a means of documentation. One of the things that affects Africa a lot today is lack of documentation. We don't own our own history. Foreigners write our history for us. They document our history for us. So it's high time that Africa took charge of their own historical narrative, and part of the tools that we use to properly document our history is our art. If art is no longer there, then I believe because that's why we have archaeologists today. Human beings, one day most of us will not be here again, but what are the things we left behind? Those are going to be the proof and evidence that there was a civilization in this particular location at this point in time. So when we document ourselves, when we document our art, meaning we are leaving a mark on that land, in that location, that whoever is coming here 100 years, 200 years to this time is telling them that, okay, this so people lived here and this was what they did. And if we don't have that, we don't have a place in history.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. Right. So now you've said a whole lot about what got you out of the shell and your artwork and archaeology and all that. Now I would like to know, yeah, who and what is your biggest influence globally and locally?
Wow. Who and what? Who and what? Who and
I mean,
what?
you should have somebody that you were looking up to, you've been looking up to.
Okay. Should it's not just one person. I have them in different places, and I don't know how I can mention names and then not offend other people. But I'm this type of person. Someone told me this before, and what I told the person was that is there really who actually said that you must have somebody, one particular person that you want to be like. In my own case, when it comes to my artistic practice, I believe what I'm trying to do is trying to create my own blueprint.
Okay.
I'm not really trying to be like someone. But then in terms of inspiration, who are the people that inspire me? One person in particular inspired me since 2021 after going to 2022, sorry, after going for the Dakar Biennale. That was Prof. Hell Anatri, who is the patron of Live in My City Art Festival. Is the one that sponsors the winners to Senegal. Seeing what he did, I was wondering that year that how can somebody, a single person, single-handedly just
Wake up one
sponsor
morning and
all these people? And then we were even more than six, because it has to be two, it happens every 2 years. So that would be about 12 or 18 of us that year because of COVID-19 too. So the sets were not able to go. So 18 of us, this man single-handedly sponsored all of us. And this man is doing the same art that I want to do. So it's kind of like the person I was looking up to at that time, that I want to be like, I want to be able to do what he does. This art now, like, he changed my vision from just being an artist, but to also be able to impact the younger generation. Because if you have it all, at the end of the day, you should be able to die empty. Have it all so you can, at the second phase of your life, or at the last phase of your life, you should be able to give it all back and inspire a new generation that is coming up. And I think he did it. He inspired me in that way.
impressive. Now, you know, winning Limcaf often open doors for mentorship for every artist, right? Now you've gotten the award, right?
Yes.
What's your plan for this mentorship, and what are you looking to do with this whole wins and everything that comes with all this?
Well, well, there's only one plan when when it comes to art. That's go back and make art. But this time around, the disadvantages we used to have when we started out, I think some of them have been taken care of now. So we have more resources than we used to have, and meaning there is a chance to take the arts practice a little bit further, to take it to the next level. So most of my time now, if I'm not out exhibiting, then I'll be in my studio trying to figure out where next I can take my practice. So the life of the artist is in the studio. We learn everything. An artist, what you see that you admire outside, the art is made in the studio. So the studio is where the whole magic happens. So we go back to work and keep grinding. We are not there yet.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I would like to know, what challenges do artists in Nigeria really face when it comes to being that top artist? Because the good thing about Nigeria right now is that they now recognize artists, right? It's looking like just music and movies get the recognition, but it looks like artists are now getting that spotlight. So what challenges do you think that artists face in Nigeria?
Okay. Well, I'll first back up what you said about artists, especially Nigerian artists now in the international space, are getting a lot of recognition. And I told someone that 5 years, 10 years to this time, Nigerian arts will be topping the charts. And a lot of people are already aware of that. And that's why you can see a lot of people wanting to invest in art more than it was before. But then the major challenge that I sensed, because I work with a lot of artists too, and we almost complain about the same thing, that people don't really appreciate art. If you sit 8 artists down here today, 5 of them is thinking of how to japa, because they feel there are better opportunities abroad. There are no real patronages in Nigeria here. And I started something last year. I started embracing my social media platform more as a tool to educate. And at this point, I don't think we should only raise artists or empower artists alone. I think there's a need to educate non-artists in Nigeria, because I believe there are a lot of people in Nigeria, there are a lot of wealthy people who have money that they can invest in art, but who invest in what they don't understand. So there's a need for every artist to not just hide in their studio again in this century. I think every artist needs to become a teacher. Every artist needs to become an art teacher and educate those who don't understand art, because I believe the gap, the real problem we have in Nigeria is that a lot of people don't really understand the art beyond the aesthetics. Oh, it's fine. This painting on the wall, I like it, and stuff like that. And when you call a huge amount, they cannot compare the value with with it's fine. So
That's
it has to
true.
be beyond it's fine. There
Yeah.
has to be a story. There has to be more value to just the beauty, the physical beauty of that work. And I feel artists need to stop being passive about a situation that is about them. Nobody will educate the public for us. Nobody's going to do this job for us. We have to take that responsibility and start educating. And before you know it, it might take time. But I believe when people understand what we really do in Nigeria, we are going to build a solid art market in Nigeria where all artists can thrive.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, finally, yeah, before we let you go, what message would you give to other emerging artists like you?
Okay. Well, there's only one thing. Um, and this is coming from a personal place. There are going to be a lot of challenges. So whoever is thinking that there won't be challenges is not even ready to start yet. So there are going to be a lot of challenges. But then we should have goals, things we want to achieve. And one thing is more important than goal, which I realized at the beginning of this year, because I had goals. And thank God I'm getting close to achieving that goal. So every artist should practice goal setting. Set your goal, but what is more important than setting goal is figuring out the major number one challenge that would definitely most likely stop you from achieving that goal, and you prioritize that more, because if that is taken care of, you definitely get your goal. But people set goals without planning for the challenges. At the end of the day, they get surprised, they get shocked along the way, and they give up. So set goals, have goals that you want to achieve, and get ready to face whatever challenge is going to come your way, and never give up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Segun
so much.
Owolabi. This was very insightful and educational. I had a are you are you sure you will not try to be a philanthropist or a psychologist or someone that advocates for the people tomorrow?
Well, an artist is unboxable.
Right?
Yeah, so we can be anything.
At the end of the day.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for gracing our invite. We had
Thank
great
you.
times with you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. We just finished talking to Segun Owolabi, the winner for Life in My City.